Welcome to Pre-AP Algebra 2, 2014-15. I know some of you are feeling like this. For lots of reasons. You had a great summer, you're scared of Pre-AP Algebra 2, or you just want to be in bed. But I'm so excited. We're going to have a great year. As you've learned, this is going to be a flipped classroom, so you will be watching videos at night of Mrs. Butcher or myself teaching, and during the day we'll be doing all the practice. So just to get started, I just want to introduce you to my family a little bit. This is my husband Blaine, Mr. Irwin. He thinks he's suave and debonair in this picture, but he really put on the hat to cover up his bald head. He's bald because of these three goof balls. This one right here is playing professional volleyball in Finland. This one right here goes to University of Emory, yes, where all of the Ebola patients that were U.S. citizens are. And this one is a junior here at College Park. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all and you getting to know me, but for now, let's get on with math. You learned sets of numbers in Algebra 1. We're going to go through them again, but we're also going to add a few that are kind of obvious, but just want to make sure you know what they're called. And when you first learned them, you first learned that really there was only one set of numbers that encompassed everything, and that was the real number system. Everything on the number line is a real number. We're going to add this year these guys over here, these imaginary guys, and they are taking a square root of a negative number. Any square root of a negative number. Okay, real numbers then go to rational and irrational. And this little prefix, ratio, is going to be really important this year. Ratio means fraction. Any number that can be made into a fraction is a rational number. So 1 is a rational number because I can make that into 1 over 1. 5 is a rational number because it can be 5 over 1, 1/5, even 0.333 repeating because I can turn that into 1/3. Irrational numbers are any numbers that can't be made into a fraction. That would be something like the square root of 5, the square root of 3, pi is an irrational number. So anything that can't be made into a fraction is an irrational number. Rational numbers now break down into integers and non-integers. So integers, don't forget, integers, this is where I add my negatives, -3, -7. 0 is considered an integer, but it is also considered a whole number. So when I go from rational numbers to whole numbers, I add the number 0. And 17, any of those numbers are integers. Non-integers would be all the numbers in between. So -4.63, I can make that into a fraction. It would be 4 and 63 over 100, or 1 and 2/3, or 0.5. All of those would be non-integers. Okay, irrational numbers go to radicals and transcendental. Some radicals. So the square root of 5 is a radical. The cube root of 9 is a radical. The opposite of the fifth root of 2 is a radical. But the square root of 16 would actually be an integer because it will go to 4. The last one is a new one that you probably don't know. Transcendental is pi. Any number that can be made into a symbol, and you'll learn a new one this year, e. Pi and e are transcendentals. And the last thing we're going to do is just break integers up. Integers break up into natural or counting numbers, digits, even numbers, and odd numbers. Natural or counting numbers are anything that I count. As a baby, did we start with 0? No, 0 is not considered a natural or a counting number. We started with 1, 2, 3, etc. So 2014 would be a counting number. Digits are just the numbers that make up all of our numbers. So 0 is a digit, 1, 2, 3, all the way through 9. Even numbers. Even numbers are, you know this, 2, 4. 0 is considered an even number. -2 is an even number. Odd numbers would be -3 or 1 or 7, etc. And that's the end of the first video for Pre-AP Algebra 2. Hope you guys have a great first night. See you tomorrow in school.